Chris in the hospital again?
What's going on?
Yes, Chris is in the hospital again.
November 22nd, 2011, Stephen Watson, quote-unquote journalist for the Buffalo News, published an article about Chris not being a veteran and defaming him and his family shamelessly when there are major issues in the world that the Buffalo News needs to be focused on.
What does your sign say, Mocha?
It says, we love our veterans as so should you.
What do you guys say about this, Jasmine?
I'm gonna be marching in honor of my friend and U.S. Army vet Christopher Siemens, and on behalf of all the American veterans, to protest against the shameful treatment that they're getting and the raw deal they're getting from the government.
The weather sucks.
It's nice and snowy, good weather for being outside, and I'm excited for this march. I'm ready to go.
Now I also have an hidden one too. I might not flip this other card out.
What's the other card?
Integrity and journalism.
What's the other card?
Text Mr. Buffett like he was a veteran.
Who here's got a camera on their smartphone that can videotape what we're doing? Raise your hand.
Multiple.
1, 2. There's got to be more than 2. Anybody else?
Every time we've had a press conference, like people have come, so this one they haven't come to.
Sure. No, but I mean, like, yeah, but like release it, you know.
I don't know. Chris said he did a press release, but I don't know where it went.
They want to ignore. They want to sweep this issue under the fucking rug. Even YNN, you know.
They've come out on every single thing we've asked them to come out on.
I know. YNN's been good.
The citizens of Buffalo are their own media. We do not need the corporate media to be here because we are covering it ourselves. New York Media Net. He's also a blogger and author for Art Voice. A couple months ago, he was accused, without substantiation by the Buffalo News, of receiving campaign contributions from Chris Collins and Mark Poloncarz. He says, "I'm sorry, I cannot be here with you today. I've been asked to say a few words regarding the character assassination of Christopher Semains, a veteran who proudly served his country, yet upon his return finds himself battling another enemy, the familiar foe of intransient bureaucracy."
Yes, my name is John P. Rosman. That's R-O-S-Z-M-A-N. For all those reporters that might be present, I don't see too many of them. I did meet one Buffalo News reporter today. I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting myself, because I am a U.S. Army veteran, and my DD Form 214 is on file at the Erie County Courthouse, if you want to look for that, Mr. Reporter. I am the son of a broadcast journalist. My father was not a wealthy man, but he worked and died for this city reporting. I have served this country from 1983. I did not do it for thanks. I did it because I believed in an ideal, and an ideal that I think has been lost in this country. That ideal was liberty and justice for all. Now I am an occupier and a proud supporter of Occupy Buffalo. The reason why I am an occupier is that I am a firm believer in our Constitution. And I believe that our Constitution is under attack by corporate interests.
Yeah, that ain't right.
That ain't right.
Also in our Constitution, there are several amendments. One of them that I am a firm believer in is the first. The first guaranteeing the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, and the freedom to peacefully assemble and file grievances with our government. Now with that, I believe that there are certain responsibilities that the press has in order to exercise the free press. And that is that they need to report the news in a fair and unbiased way. Recently, articles in the media have not been either of those. They have neither been fair or unbiased, and actually untruthful. Journalists have become lazy and irresponsible, choosing to be fed, spoon-fed from the government and corporate interests. Journalists of the world, please wake up and reclaim your integrity. Thank you.
My name is Chris Phillips, and I'm here today to put an end to the corporate emptiness of the mainstream media. For too long, publications like the Buffalo News have filled their pages with irresponsible quote-unquote journalism that shines no light on the most important issues of the day.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. Where's the investigation into the skyrocketing $15 trillion national debt and our inability to realistically address this catastrophe? Where's the investigation into executives that went on vacation with taxpayer dollars? Why doesn't the Buffalo News report on the homeless and hungry people of Buffalo affected by the sick economy and ignored by local, state, and national governments? Where's the investigation into the murder of downtown Main Street and the lack of action to revitalize it? Why doesn't the Buffalo News report on the thousands of Western New Yorkers still affected by this top-heavy economy that ships their jobs overseas, keeps their wages low, and their prices high? Where's the journalistic integrity when American corporations like Halliburton and Lockheed Martin are profiting off of never-ending war? Why does the Buffalo News tell us nothing of the many soldiers who perish? Where are the pictures of their flag-draped coffins?
Yes!
Not in the Buffalo News. And the reason is simple. Corporate media giants consolidate and control information
here today to demand integrity and accountability in journalism. It is shameful that Stephen Watson defamed our friend, Army Sergeant Christopher Siemens. We are also here to highlight the disgraceful treatment that the U.S. veterans who sacrificed their lives to defend this country are getting for the federal government. We demand that the Buffalo News issue an apology to Mr. Christopher Siemens for their defamation of character pertaining to Watson's extremely misguided article. We would like to see the Buffalo News issue a correction of the story in the exact same place it was run originally, which is the front page of the City and Region section.